Guten Tag, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. Your host tonight, Bob, Cory, Nick, and Todd, and special guest once again, Donnie Gephardt.
Hello.
That's two special guest appearances in one calendar year, breaking the record.
So now I'm gonna have to go 4 years.
All right, Cory, how are you, sir?
Oh, hello. I am fantastic.
Nick, how are you, sir?
Howdy-ho.
Stop. I can't. It's my own shortcoming, everybody. I don't know why that tickles me so much like that. Todd Dillon, how are you, sir?
Amazing, sir.
And
How are
Donnie
you?
Gephardt.
It could not be better.
I am good, Todd. Thank you for asking. All right. For the listeners and viewers, if you're new to the podcast, thank you for joining us. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. You can find us out anywhere we get a podcast. We record new episodes every Saturday night. And for past episodes, you can find us out on the streaming services, out on YouTube and Instagram. Facebook, Twitch.
And
Tumblr, Grindr.
and TikTok.
Tumblr? Did you say Tumblr?
Tumblr.
Todd threw me off with the Tumblr. TikTok, you can find us out there. If you want to reach out to us with any of your questions or requests for relationship advice, you can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us anytime, day or night, at 618-SHOCKER.
The shocker line, baby.
All right, and people, I've got to put this call out to you. First of all, if you've not texted or called the Shocker line, do yourself a favor, and I don't know what you're waiting for. Just participate in the majesty of interacting with the Schnozzcast. And if you have listened to us out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube Music or wherever you get your podcasts, and you haven't subscribed to us, then please do so, because then you get a notification when we go live. Most times, if you want to watch us over video, you can find us out on YouTube. We also broadcast on Facebook, and you can subscribe to us on either place. We would rather have your patronage on YouTube, because we're trying to YouTube goose the numbers up to the point where we can get some sponsorship.
Bob also, Monday through Friday, streams us live on Slack.
Look, I like to keep that to myself. It's just for a specific.
All the inter-office politics, right on Slack.
All right. So with that, let's take Nick's constant and sage advice and realize that we have a shot sitting here in front of us that we don't want to get warm. So, Todd Dillon, you're going to join us with a shot of your IPA of choice for today, because you're doing a dry, I won't say a dry February, but a no shots February.
I'm actually not drinking an IPA today. I'm drinking a Heineken Zero. Very, very good. But thank you for asking.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate.
All right, I'm happy you teed that up. Thank you, Bob, for wasting all of our time.
Cheers,
Everyone's
boys.
got certain skills, Donnie,
Yep.
and that's mine. So cheers, everybody.
Yeah, enjoy your
Salute.
skinny Rita, Todd.
Oh.
That's the good stuff.
All right, so it's normally at this point where I would go into a little midnight burbling, and I think there's a couple of things that I wanted to mention here that I'm not sure that you guys are aware of.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, on Instagram, there is a follow that you need to give to, and you could search for it on Instagram. It's called Scenic Pisses, and it is exactly what you think it is.
Boy.
People
It is-
pissing in scenic areas.
It is a gentleman going out to some of the country's, dare I say, the world's most scenic location, and it starts off with just a sweeping vista, and then just a stream of urine out into that vista.
So this seems right up your alley, Cory, honestly.
I don't know. I think
Why do you say that, Nick?
Well, because when we with the whole cabin thing, Cory likes to make BMs
In buckets.
Do I start scenic
Hold on.
poops?
BMs?
There you go.
When did we get
How do we go from
so hoity-toity
piss
that we
to
couldn't say
poop?
Corey likes to take a shit
Hoity-toity.
outdoors?
Because
That's old man talk.
Because it's
Right.
Because for Cory,
Thank you, Todd.
it's an experience.
I took a life-changing shit at Nick's cabin up in the woods one morning, outside.
In a bucket?
Well, yeah, it had a toilet seat on it, but
Hey, Nick,
I'm not
remember
a
when
savage.
you said that it'd be a great idea if we had a female presence on this podcast?
Yeah.
That's never been more apparent
So
than right now.
I will say that when I thought of scenic piss, I think of Tony, because
And yet you threw Corey almost immediately under the bus.
because he's present. He's present, but
Right.
Tony's wife Holly, they own like this old farmhouse like up in the middle of nowhere in Michigan, and there is a giant hill, I guess, from tilling the fields or something, that grass has grown over it, and it's overlooking a cornfield. And he's like, I love nothing more than going to the top of that hill and just pissing out into the cornfield. is the best piss I've ever had in my life. And when you're drunk, it's amazing. I'm like,
I can get on board with that.
I was going to say, can Corey just start scenic BMs?
yeah.
Just start it there?
Corey's the scenic BM man.
There you go.
Which I now sent after using Nick's bucket toilet. I now have my own that I have in the garage.
He loved it so much, he's like, I got to get me one of those.
I did.
So he immediately Googled bucket toilet and came up with.
But Don, you have to imagine it was like going up north and saying, hey,
I could be inside.
there's a lot of forest
Wait a
fires,
minute.
a lot of forest fires in the area. Just in case, we have all these provisions in place. We've got a hose, we've got these extinguishers and these special masks, and we've got these fire blankets. So if something were to happen, use these as an emergency. And then Cory woke up in the middle of the night and was like, yeah, it's a little chilly and I have a normal blanket, but I think I'm going to break the glass and use this fire blanket instead. And put it around himself and was like, oh, that was the best blanket I've ever had in my life. The toilet on the bucket was a last resort in case like the plumbing had failed, which it didn't. And he decided to wake up in the morning and christen it out in the middle of a field overlooking.
I was just walking with the bucket too. Like, take a dump.
It was not necessary. He
Wait
decided.
a second. First of all, you can't mimic me. You are basically me. So get the fuck out of here with that.
No,
I've
hold
never
on.
shit in a bucket.
That was pretty amazing. Please don't.
It had a seat on it, though,
shortchange.
Johnny.
Yeah, that was a great impression.
We bought like emergency bucket with a toilet seat lid, all brand new, biodegradable bags, biodegradable wipes, all that stuff. Hey, in case the plumbing fails, we've been having issues with the underlying piping in the house. If it fails in the middle of the night and you got to go, you can use this. And he's like, "Fuck that." The sun just rose. It's beautiful out here. I'm christening this bucket wherever I want.
So, first of all, we were told going up there that there was a plumbing issue that we need to try to keep the usage of the toilet down to a bare minimum.
That is true.
Yep.
I woke up that morning and someone had already used the toilet and didn't flush their BM.
There's a shit in the toilet when you woke up?
Yes.
Oh my god!
It's one of those things
Are
that
you
you got to
serious?
flush.
Yes.
You got to flush it like
I don't
3
think
times.
I ever knew that.
Yeah.
No, because the septic was like there was some issue with the septic, so you had to like
Well, it wasn't
hold
me,
it
so
down,
that means it was either him or Joe.
throw it, flush it 3 times. Cory didn't try to flush anything. He was like,
It wasn't my shit, not my responsibility to flush.
Clearly, there was a problem.
So I grabbed the bucket and I went
I've got
outside.
2 choices. I could either flush this shit or I could go outside and make my own.
Does that constitute an emergency, though?
No, it was not an emergency. He could have shit on top of the shit and then flushed it down.
I was also being.
That's true.
I have lines, buddy.
Double
I have
decker.
lines, and that's where I draw a line.
I maintain this. We've never needed a woman's influence in this podcast more than right now.
What was exactly, Bob? You brought this special topic to us, didn't you?
Just
The
so you're
outdoor
aware,
shits? No, I did not.
Bob just went with piss.
I started
In a roundabout
with
way.
scenic pisses.
In a roundabout way, he
Scenic
did.
It's piss
pisses.
adjacent.
just so you're aware, this was about 2.5, 3 years ago, and this year Greg Bader finally pulled out the checkbook and he said, I'm writing an $8,000 check to get this redug.
Well, guess what, Mr. Bader? You don't have to worry about me taking any shits at the cabin.
Yep.
I'm going outside, sir.
And you know what the most upsetting part was? It wasn't any of that, because we didn't curtail like our eating habits or anything like that.
Oh no.
Someone, names will not be said, fucking stovepiped a shit for 3 days and never fucking let it go for 3 days until they got back to Dearborn.
Oh. Sorry, was that? Should I not have done that? Who's bad? Whose good time did I ruin by doing that?
Yours?
Your colon.
Well, yeah, I got a colon like a horse.
I told him, I go,
until
hey,
it rips.
it was like the third day. I'm like,
iron constitution.
hey, buddy. I said, we just drove 25 minutes into town, and the only place for another like hour and a half is this breakfast place that has never been here like growing up. Like, they have working facilities. Like, he's like, I've waited this long. I'll just wait till we go back home. It was a 4-hour drive home. I'm like,
yeah.
oh.
I was fine.
I don't know how we did it.
I was fine.
Yeah, dude.
I would.
My body just went into some sort of a mode
like
where
self-preservation.
Yeah, you're fine. You'll make it. It's all good.
3 days.
He's got like a colon control
Dude,
button. Like
he was fucking prairie dogging that fucking shit for 3 days.
Yet I was free and clear.
I had no problem.
Because
In a
I had
bucket.
an amazing morning poop outside in the wilderness.
Corey's body was like, next meal. Come on.
Yeah, I was ready for
Next
it.
one. Where's the bacon? Where's the eggs? Come on.
Joe burned the shit out of that bacon, and I ate the shit
You
out
got a
of
block of cheese? Come on.
So did I.
it. But it was building up on some other stuff inside
And it
you.
rested in my lower intestine until I got back to Dearborn.
That was definitely your upper intestine by
gonna
that
say.
point.
Yeah, sorry.
Bob shat out a
I'm not
baby's
a
arm
doctor.
as soon as he got back.
Well, did you look at that?
Welcome back, Ian. Welcome back.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So we're changing topics.
No. I was just trying to respond to some comments.
No,
That's all.
definitely. Yeah. Don't want to say thank you, Ian, for joining.
It's Donnie's son.
That's little Ian.
Thank you, Donnie's son, for joining. Is that
Well,
right?
I mean, Ian's his name, but
All
Ian.
right.
I was letting you know.
Okay.
Ian?
No, he's not British.
Ian?
Ian is actually Scottish, bud.
Ian. I've known a British Ian.
All right, so I want to bring this up for the group because this is a legitimate request, and I want to know what you guys think for the podcast going forward. I came across this before, and when I describe it to you, you're going to be like, "Oh, of course, I know about this," but I'd never really given any serious thought until I read about it. The topic is PowerPoint karaoke. So we've all seen Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
They've done PowerPoint karaoke on many occasions.
Okay.
And in this,
where it just shows up and they have to.
yeah, in this game,
Oh, that's
Gotcha.
yeah.
you get a PowerPoint presentation with slides that you've never seen in front of a live audience, which for us is the podcast.
Yep.
For each presentation, the presenter is not allowed to see the slide before presenting. The presenter must deliver each slide in succession without skipping any slides, and it ends when all slides have been presented or after 6 minutes, whichever comes first. We're all huge Impractical Jokers fans.
Oh man, yeah.
How come
Not-
you keep
not big-
lumping me into this?
Not big enough
I've
to
never
spend
seen
$70
a show.
Todd,
bucks.
have you never watched Impractical Jokers?
I think I've watched half of one episode.
Okay,
Really?
so
Oh.
clearly, before if we're going to decide, I'm putting this to the group for a vote. Not tonight, but something to noodle on.
You got my vote.
You know how I vote, Bob.
I do, and that's why I'm really addressing this to you, Todd. You need to watch.
Todd's already given it a D minus.
And I'm going to give you. First of all the people on the podcast that should be the least worried about PowerPoint karaoke, it's Todd Dillon. There's no one else. I would run a second to Todd for having to give presentations on very little sleep or very little knowledge of what's being presented or having to think on your feet. I clearly put Todd ahead of me, but I'm number 2. So Todd's got nothing to worry about. This should worry Todd not in the least. But I will say, Todd, I'll give you some episode numbers and season numbers for the Impractical Jokers episodes in which they do PowerPoint karaoke.
It feels like I do this at Toastmasters. So yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. I'm down.
All right.
I just don't think the Impractical Jokers are funny so far.
That's fair.
You watched half of an episode.
Yeah, and I didn't laugh once. That's why I turned the channel.
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
I feel like Impractical Jokers was kind of like my introduction to alcohol. It didn't take.
How so?
It did not take the first several times trying to adjust and trying to nobody picked up a beer and said, "Oh my God, I've been missing this my whole life." It's an acquired taste for sure. Cory showed us Impractical Jokers bits and pieces at the bar all the time, and I'd be the first person to raise my hand and be like, "Can you fucking turn this shit off?" I came around and started watching them on my own, and once you see they are very, very, very similar to us. They're a group of 4 guys, and they're big ball busters, and at the end of the day, they all love each other, and it's hilarious. You have to kind of give it a chance. It might be something that we'll have to assign to you, but certainly half an episode is not going to get you because it didn't get me. I watched multiple episodes at the bar when we used to go out and hang out with Cory, and it did not take with me, and I actually had to come around to it on my own. But now I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Gotcha.
So I want you guys to think about this. And Donnie, this is obviously not for you. However, knowing about this, if this is something you wanted to partake in, more than welcome.
I'd be down 100%. I love Practical Jokers. So.
Are we going to go on their cruise?
Dude,
Are you announcing to us that you bought us all cruise tickets? Bob!
Look,
just fucking get to it. I'm too excited.
I was trying to keep
I'm
it for
too
the end.
Excited right
but
now.
God damn it. If you're going to press me, guess what, boys? We're not going to that cruise. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Way to get our hopes up, Bob. Way to get our hopes up.
However,
By the way, they are still doing that.
of course they are.
It's a
What is
cash grab, dude. Of course they're
Let's
going to do it.
Dude, we would do it in a hot second if we could.
Yeah, I know, but
With our 9 followers.
Dude, eventually they're like on season 10. They're going to stop. They've already lost a member.
They're
eventually
hold
going
on,
to
they're
stop.
far beyond season 10.
No, they're not.
This is not the 10th season.
Yep.
Okay. Cory, back me up.
I mean, I'll find out.
Yeah,
we
could you just do a quick Google search?
Quick.
Especially for Todd, who's only seen one half of.
We've already lost Joe Gatto. I mean,
no, we haven't. I don't know if you noticed, but he's reached out to us, and we're now.
no, he's not.
Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't.
Apparently, you're not watching the Schnozzcast Instagram because
I have.
Okay.
Cory, you want to break the news to him?
I hate to break the news to you, buddy.
Yeah.
10 seasons.
Are
Well,
you serious?
You want to break the other news to him?
They've been.
That we followed Joe Gatto and now he sends us spam fucking reels
No,
in our inbox.
I'm aware of that.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
I was the one that got a little excited about that.
Yeah, Cory.
No,
I was
no,
like,
you
Joe
told-
Gatto just wrote us. I'm like,
So-
No.
So
Joe's writing all his fucking followers.
Donnie, we were interviewing Dave Hill,
uh-huh.
right? So Dave Hill, preeminent comedian, musician,
Author.
author, and we were so excited for the
Songwriter.
time that we looked at who Dave's friends were, and Nick happened to notice that all the Impractical Jokers were following him, and so Nick, being the fucking shit talker and chance taker that he is, he's like, I'm going to reach out to each and every single Joker individually on their Instagrams, and we're going to fucking, like, yeah, you don't know who we are, but we know Dave Hill, and you follow Dave Hill, and we would love to interview you. And it was a ballsy move, and I think we were able to send the message to everybody except for a Q, who doesn't accept messages from people he doesn't know. It was probably a pretty wise
So
idea.
I think what it was Brian Quinn followed Dave Hill, the guy that we had on our show.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Hill has opened for Snoop Dogg. Dave Hill has been on the Amy Poehler show. Dave Hill
Tours with Tenacious D.
tours and opens for Tenacious D. Yeah, he's
His-
way beyond our scope of expertise.
His band wrote the song that is now the theme theme show for the last 10 years of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver on
And-
HBO.
Oh, wow.
And Dave Hill is the most hilarious guy you've never known, that you don't know about. And
He might dispute that fact, but we're just going to say it.
just literally talking to the guy on the show,
Mhm.
he's fucking absolutely hilarious.
Very quick, very sharp.
He literally is a stand-up comedian, one of those stand-up comedians that also plays instruments. He shreds on guitar. A lot of times he'll go on podcasts and just fucking tool around. I mean, he's almost like a Jack Black kind of thing.
Didn't he just do the national anthem for an
Yeah.
NHL game?
Yeah.
That
Yep.
he regarded as being a tremendous success, but he made the news because one of the players on one of the teams was caught on camera with him just laughing because he just didn't understand what was going on, which Dave completely took in stride. He's like, well, he didn't understand the absolute ass I was kicking with that shredding solo.
But it's crazy, you know.
And that was after our interview with him.
You get one guy that's like, oh, this guy's a comedian, or this guy can
Yeah.
sing, or this guy can maybe play an instrument. This guy, Dave Hill, has written like 3 books. He's a stand-up comedian. He's been on TV shows. He's open for extremely popular people.
Yeah.
He is a songwriter. He does all these fucking crazy things, and we had him on our show.
In fact, yeah, you might be asking yourselves, how the fuck did you assholes get him on your show?
Emailed him.
And the reason is we reached out to him on Instagram because he put the call out.
And
Like,
he-
if anybody, I've got a new book coming out. And if anybody would like for me to be on your podcast, just let us know. And we're like, fuck it. Yes. And he wrote back. And that's how that happened.
And he was sitting in his apartment, unscripted, talked to us assholes, and was hilariously funny. I didn't know the guy from Adam when Bob introduced me to like, hey, he's probably going to be on our show. Listen to his stand-up. He's hilarious. He's kind of got a Pauly Shore delivery. And Brian Quinn follows him, and a bunch of other celebrities follow him. So it's like, wait a second.
Oh.
Hold on. Wait a second. This guy, after our show, told us, we're like, hey, you know, if you're ever, you know, in the market, you know, we would love for you to be back. He said, listen, anytime you guys ever want me back in your show, I'd be more than happy to do it. So theoretically, all I said was, if the Dave Hill thing goes okay, like even okay,
Mm-hmm.
that means we're one times removed from contacting the Impractical Jokers. And
Logical response.
And Jack Black.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon sort of a,
Yes.
of a philosophy.
I could, theoretically, I could call Dave Hill. We could.
Technically,
And Dave.
without his phone number, but sure.
I mean, he emails us. And
Okay.
Dave could reach out to Brian Quinn or Jack Black.
I think there's an easier way to
within
get
minutes.
those guys on.
Within
Todd-
minutes.
Todd's got a solution.
That could happen, Donnie. Easily. That
Yeah.
could happen.
I think
We haven't
TT
pushed that envelope, but yeah.
No,
Todd,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I think TT should go shirtless, and we should write Bert Kreischer an email.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like the shirtless angle might be the best way to get Bert's attention.
Yes,
Next episode.
So I will say, Andy,
I don't know what's stopping you right now.
exactly.
Corey,
My
Got some
headphones.
sort of.
Corey, I will say that
All right.
Andy and I were talking a couple days ago, and he said that people always tell him, "Oh, you remind me of Bert Kreischer. You know, you're kind of the same." And I'm like, that. Another commonality, you and Corey, it's just I don't get it.
Hey, you can't be upset about it.
No, that's true.
But Bert's
Sorry,
not
buddy.
super short.
Well,
And it comes full circle.
do we know how tall Bert Kreischer is?
Taller than Cory.
Oh,
Then if he's
man.
taller than me, he's also taller than you. So fuck off.
There it is.
There it
That's
is.
what we were looking
There
for.
it is. All right, Corey's dialed into this episode now. Dialed in. What else you got, Todd?
About Cory? And
Yeah.
he's short and not very fast.
Faster than you.
All right, so
all that counts.
So since it's February now, are we gonna get another shot at the record, another bite at the apple on trying to get the two of you in Tawas? It doesn't matter what the competition.
I was ready to go the first time, so I don't know what Todd.
I was there.
I know it.
Todd, nothing between
happen.
you and I, but air an opportunity, buddy.
It didn't happen. Can we make this happen?
So all I have to say is, TD.
Yes, sir.
You gave raving reviews about Tawas. You said you wished that at a certain point you could come back with Mary and spend more time there.
I did?
You did.
Did you give me one of them gummies?
No, I did not.
That was when Nick had walked you back to your room to put you to bed.
Let me just.
I walked him back.
Hold on. Let me.
Well, there were multiple people that walked him back.
Let me explain
Many
something.
trips back to the room to walk him back.
Nick was confused the entirety of the trip in regards to Todd Dillon because Nick never walked Todd anywhere. And Todd and Nick were having great conversations a lot of times, and then I would turn around, and it was like you said, Beetlejuice in reverse, and he was fucking gone. All of a sudden, Todd was gone, and everyone was like, I walked him back to his room. I'm like, how do you walk a grown man to his room? Like, how does that even fucking work?
Sometimes it's needed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's needed.
So Todd disappeared several times. That being said, the dates for Tawas are set.
I know. I'm ready. Locked and loaded, baby.
What are the dates?
Are you going? Is Donnie going?
I gotta know the dates.
We'll talk about it offline when we get off air.
Offline. When we get off AOL in a second,
we can't just get that out to the internet.
The fans that would show up in Tawas?
Maybe the Jokers will show up.
You know,
No, that's no.
Come on, put it out there.
What we do is we email them directly. We message them directly and unsolicited, going, "Hey, Brian Quinn, Murr, we're going to Tawas on these dates.
Hey,
if
Donnie,
you'd like to join us."
You want to know the most disappointed that any tourist in Tawas has ever been? Was when we brought all of our podcast equipment to do a live show on the beach.
From the beach.
I thought we were setting up as a band.
And we set up with our backs towards the water, and everyone came out of their
Jimmy Buffett
everyone
cover
came out of their cottages thinking that we were about to start singing. and we started doing a podcast that no one could hear because we were all in our headphones.
Yeah.
And they were like, y'all about to start singing songs?
You should have.
No.
Yeah.
We were some real disappointed tourists.
People were lining up like chairs and everything, getting ready to watch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is awesome. And then we realized that they thought we were,
They were
a
waiting
band
for
of
us
some
to
sort.
just start going like,
Well-
nibbling on sponge cake. And
Watching the sun bake.
None of that ever happened.
Well,
Like,
this
why are they
year,
keeping
I'm
this
bringing
to
my tambourine.
themselves?
I'm bringing my tambourine this time, then.
I'll bring some maracas.
And my triangle.
Not the triangle.
I would be doing a disservice to myself and this band if I didn't play the shit out of this cowbell.
Hey, and you know what you can do, Cory, with your poop bucket? You can turn it upside down and play that.
There you go. Play the
Yeah,
drums.
and you can bring your poop knife. That was a missed opportunity right there.
Yes.
I should pack up the poop knife with the poop bucket. You
The
think
poop bucket is still in Kern, Michigan right now,
I got my own at home, buddy?
freezing its ass off, waiting for your arrival.
I'll warm it right up.
I'm going to speak for the audience here and just move right on to grievances.
The Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're gonna hear about it. As a rain blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way.
Use kids in your complicated
It was
shoes.
destroyed. At the Festivus dinner, you gather your family
I just
around
realized, I'm like,
and
oh,
tell
I could
them
do that
all
in the middle
ways
of the
they have
song.
disappointed you over the past year.
Multiple times.
Use kids in your complicated shoes.
And the drawing back of all the music and the comments, thanks to Nick. Todd Dillon.
Yes, sir. Today, my beef. This is absolutely a first world problem, but I have to bitch about this. As you guys know, recently we've had a little bit of inclement weather here in the Pacific Northwest.
Please start with helicopters. Please.
No.
Start with helicopters.
No, but we lost power for a couple of days. Don't worry, we had a generator. Things are going good, but the generator powers everything except for the alarm system in our home, which
Oh God, no.
Got to get that sorted out. But here's my grievance. My beef is this: when we got power back, and well, actually, before we got power back, we also lost internet, and our security system is attached to the internet as well. And then this stupid system, it didn't care that the power was gone, but it complained by beeping loudly every I don't know if it was every 30 seconds, but some like one of those the smoke detector beeps. It would do that every 30 seconds to say, "You've lost access to Wi-Fi. Please." And I'm like, "Okay, how do I shut this thing off?" It doesn't have a way to shut it off. So this thing beeped for the entire time that our cable was gone because there was no Wi-Fi. And I'm like, how can you make a thing where you can't turn it off? Because I know that there's no Wi-Fi. There's nothing I can do about it, but I want this damn thing to stop beeping. I almost tore that damn thing off the wall because it beeped like that for 2 full days. And I think the engineers who made this thing, and if there's anybody working for ADT out there, fix this shit. Because I'm sick of hearing that thing beep when I lose the internet for a couple of minutes. Please fix that.
So
that's my beef.
TD, I feel your pain because I've been known and I'm very proud. I mean, my friends talk about it constantly about how my house is just the epitome of a smart house. They've come up to me. They said, "Nick, what have you done? How can we make our houses as smart as yours?" And I said, "Hold on, wait a second, guys. I get it. Not everybody can hit the nail every time, but in regards to that, when the Wi-Fi goes out, I do not have built-in generators. I don't live on a compound. I don't have a guardhouse and all that stuff. But when my power goes out and I need to turn some lights on that don't have a manual switch, and I say Echo or the ALEXA, the whole house is a cacophony of, "We're sorry, we don't understand. We don't have any connection right now." And every single room of the house just screams at me that there's no internet connection. And it's not no connection. It is a whole sentence. And the whole house just yells at me. So you can't do anything. And you're like, "I'm going to wait 25 more minutes and I'm going to..." Can you turn on "We're sorry, it's not connected right now," and it goes through the whole house. So, yeah, there has to be some sort of shut-off, emergency switch that you can do. So I feel your pain on that.
Todd,
thank you, sir.
I think I have a resolution for you. And
what's that?
If you ever come across this situation again, give your mailman a call. I'm sure he'll come help you out right away.
Damn. Shade. A lot of shade from that tree.
Dude, the funny thing, too, is probably the first 4 hours that it was beeping at me, I'm like, what is that? Because it doesn't actually say anything in between those times. I'm like, what's beeping in my house?
Todd.
But, yes, sir.
I haven't had a pager in years.
Skytel.
Skytel, Jesus Christ. You're not showing your age at all, buddy.
Hey.
And Bob, I have one more mini grievance. Again.
All right.
People riding airplanes, wait for the people in front of you to get off the airplane before you just push your way to the front. The biggest annoyance in the world is people who are I get it. If you're late for a flight, usually they're like, "Hey, everybody stay seated," because people are catching a connector. I landed in Minnesota at about 11:30. There were no flights, no international flights being impacted. We were actually early. And dude, I couldn't even get out of my seat. There's 4 people from 4 rows back kind of elbowing me back into my seat as they made their way. So people, stop being rude to each other, wait your turn, and don't frickin' push your way through when you're in the back of the bus. Damn it.
Todd, and I just
sir.
want to say this from a coach standpoint of someone who's recently flown in the past week. Have we not gotten to the point of a split system in the...
Wow, really trying to go back in time, huh?
No, I'm saying from the arm. Nope, the arm that extends out to the plane that allows the little walkway to get back into the airport. Have we not, as a society, have we not figured out that it would probably make more sense instead of funneling everyone through the front of the plane, one fucking door, when there's like 10 doors on a plane, like emergency exits and all this fucking shit, like that we could exit people out the fucking rear of the plane and the front at the same fucking time and go down the same hallway? Like,
I like that idea.
Have we not come to that conclusion yet? Is that too fucking difficult to figure out?
They do it on international flights. They do.
That's fucking ridiculous. What the fuck?
Yep.
You're 37 rows back, and you have to wait for fucking 150 mods to get their fucking bags out before you can fucking even stand
Hold on.
up.
Don't you dare defile the mods.
I mean,
Who's mod?
Well, then there's
that's before my
mod,
time.
Todd.
oh, wait, hold on. I was late. So mine's actually 7 rows behind the 10 people that are already standing up. Excuse me. And then they got to walk back through the crowd. No. How about we just have a little fork at the extenuation of that arm that comes off of that thing that goes up to the plane, and we have 2 doors, one in the back, one in the front, and everyone gets off happy. Why does everyone on an airplane have to be angry?
You guys would still be funneling to the same tunnel, though.
I understand that. When people start
It's
moving,
wider.
it's fine. When people start moving, it's fine.
That's what they created a hip check for.
yeah. But when you have a 12-inch aisle and 47-inch people that move very, very slow, then that's where you get the bottleneck issue.
Thank you for allowing me to air those grievances.
Yeah.
No worries, Todd. Mr. Slesky,
Yes.
let's you got some TikToks for us.
I think I might have a couple.
All right, hold on. That's not it.
Are you ready?
Wow.
TikToks. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Man, don't you disrespect Captain America. All right. While you're teeing that up, we got a shot sitting here. So, Todd,
True.
you're going to join us with your Heineken Zero.
Yes, sir.
0% of my cares right there.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Cheers.
Gentlemen.
Salute.
Oh,
That was a rusty rake going down, wasn't it?
That's good.
it's just as good as it always does.
Just some empty calories and male curiosity, eh, Georgia boy?
You have to give me a second. I forgot to open something earlier when we were trying to get started.
I got another grievance.
My pants.
That seems like ladies have that complaint weekly. I was ready to go, but Cory forgot to open something.
Here's my pants, Bob. Here's my pants.
Oh, there it is.
Just so you know, Bob, that's not the truth because my pants have been open this entire show.
Maybe do that when you're shirtless, too, next time.
Cory did
Next week?
He did make reference one time. He's like, "Oh, why do you think I picked the see-through fucking tablecloth?"
That's right.
Yep.
Guys
It
can see.
was at that point that I was glad that we didn't have some sort of a fluorescent like men's bathroom at a gas station light going like right through the tablecloth.
You guys would have loved what you saw. All right.
Gonna take your word for it, sir.
Like a frightened turtle.
Cory, what's hanging out of your legs?
A very small, frightened turtle. All right, so
Hiding in a bush.
Hey, leave the bush out of this.
He trimmed both those hairs. We talked about that earlier.
I think he left it in the bucket.
So this first one, these are 2 guys from Japan, I believe, and they play a game. They have masks on, and one has like a Nerf bat, and they will tell each other where there's 3 places you can hit. You can either hit the face, the stomach, or the balls. So they start off by telling the person where they're going to hit and in what order.
Sorry, this is in an actual
It's like a grade school classroom.
Probably not. I don't know. It's in Japan.
It looks like a kindergarten.
They have
All right, so all bets are off. It's in Japan.
Yeah, and they have a whole bunch of different backgrounds they use. I don't know. This is just happens to be this one.
Gotcha.
But so this is the game they play, and sometimes they'll be truthful about where they're going to hit, and other times they won't.
Can they see through those?
That I don't know. And as
You've done your research, clearly, so all right.
I'm going to go with probably not.
Okay, god damn it.
That's not as funny as you would think.
It looks like a giant hot dog, not a bat.
Thank you.
Looks like he's hitting him in the shed, not in the junk anyway.
Try this again.
And
the problem here is if you get hit in the junk with a horse face on, I can't see how much pain.
So he blocked all of them. He's telling me he's going to hit him in the head twice, once in the nuts.
But he doesn't know in which order it's coming?
That should be the order.
That's his own fault.
That was his own fault because he did go in the correct order.
He did.
So
that's a thinker right
guys,
there.
I'm torn on this video because I feel like this is either the worst TikTok we've ever seen.
Wow.
Or this might birth a brand new segment of I want to see every week crazy shit from Japan.
Fair enough.
I think
I'm torn.
I think it's the former.
I'm okay on the
I heard Todd actually belly laugh a little bit on that one, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
All right. So
this
next one, this is I don't know if you guys remember. There used to be a show on MTV called Silent Library.
I have no memory of that at all.
No. Okay.
You
so
don't? Oh, I even do.
You remember the show?
Yeah, I'll totally remember it.
So
I like how you looked at me though, going like, "If I do, you must have."
Yeah, he's like, "Hold on, we're the oldest ones in the room. Hold on."
So these guys have recreated it on TikTok.
Was that back when Harry Truman was on fucking TikTok?
A little bit after.
But what the premise is, they all have to pick cards and do a certain stunt, and all their friends, while the stunt's going on, they cannot laugh or be loud. So this is the guys that have now remade the MTV classic Silent Library. So he's getting tennis balls launched at him. And there's one that hits just right.
Not for nothing. Why wouldn't you be covering your balls the entire time?
You can't.
Right.
You can't?
You know, you have to get hit wherever it hits you. It hits you.
But you could just sit there with your hand over your balls.
No.
You can't?
No, you have to. You have to be unprotected.
Okay.
Well, it's like so he's hoping to get hit in the junk then.
So is this?
Yeah, because he kind of wants the other guys to laugh.
Eric might not be able to have another child, but we were able to complete the punishment. So that's $500 won for the boys. Bring on the next challenge.
So this is where they pick their challenge.
Hats off to these guys for figuring out how to set up the challenges. It's a great move.
The best part about taking batting practice is trying to shoot baseballs into the bucket once you're finished. So this next challenge is called Pick'em, and it's for $700.
So I mean, it's kind of
all over the
I mean,
cage.
a little bit because I don't know anything about it, but like where the whole trend where guys would put like a harmonica in their mouth and then someone would fucking smack him in the stomach with a bat. And the person that made the noise lost.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
They would put a harmonica in their mouth, and they'd be like, each person would have a harmonica in their mouth, and you'd be like, okay, and we would be dead silent, two of us, and you would have like a wiffle bat or something like that.
Yeah.
And I would fucking whack the shit out of your side, and then you'd be like.
It's actually that. So that's a mixture of the two TikToks, basically.
Right,
yeah. At some point, guys, we're we're all faced with a choice. Like, is this the kind of podcast we want to be?
No.
Or I have to stand in a batting cage and take fucking shots to the junk just to get some viewers.
I think your super toe is already better than that video.
Oh,
Thank you, sir.
Yes, of course it is.
Thank you, sir.
I mean,
super toe incident.
The only way to find out is to go out and do it, and you can start first. Since you brought the idea up.
No, you brought it up. I wouldn't brought it up here if we were watching your TikToks.
All right, so this one is a gentleman that's out about to practice his golf swing in his backyard, and he's made a very rinky-dink golf ball trap with a tarp and some 2x4s. So you could imagine if this swing slices at all, something bad's probably going to happen.
I'm a whack fuck here.
Whack. We saw this just a couple weeks ago.
I feel like we did.
Did I play this for you guys already?
Yeah,
oh, shit.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, I appreciate it because I was looking at it going like, I've seen this before, but I thought maybe it was just on my own.
I thought the same thing. I thought maybe I
TikTok,
scrolled upon it. Yeah.
Instagram searches.
No.
My apologies.
No, he's starting to lose his touch.
I know.
Thank you.
He never.
All right,
plays
this is the last one I got for you guys then.
This isn't the drunk guy with the friends again, is it?
They're all drunk guys with friends.
He's not drunk currently.
Okay.
But so this guy's kind of TikTok famous.
Okay.
There's a lot of Ring video doorbell situations that he does.
I'm skeptical of him. Like I want to laugh at it, and then I'm like, is it scripted? Because it seems so ridiculous all the time.
And you know what? I get it. Because I think he might have had one or two that were actually like legit moments.
Yeah.
And it took
one
off.
Or two though. That's it.
And then he started kind of scripting stuff. But even if it is scripted,
and I don't know if it is. I don't know.
I will say he's actually one of the better people on TikTok that I've actually seen. Like the way he plays it out, it is like it comes across as genuine. There's so many people out there that you can tell like
his mom seems genuine. Anytime he interacts with his mom,
that's the kind
she's
of
like,
insider TikTok.
We're fucking done with this. Why are you doing? She is dead serious.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's the insider TikTok review that I wanted to hear.
And I don't have TikTok. I just see it on Facebook.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think a lot of stuff he's already come up with and thought about. Well, you said I think some of it he just approaches his mom with on the Ring camera, and knows that she's not going to know exactly what he's doing, and it plays out pretty well. But so this is. Again, I couldn't tell you if this is genuine or not, but his buddy's grandfather, I believe, passed away, and he was waiting for him to come home.
How you doing, buddy? Obviously not good. Hey, well, where are you going? I'm going inside. Okay, well, I brought you a bottle of bourbon in case you were still sad about your grandpa's passing.
He just passed away today. Of course I'm still sad.
You're still upset about it?
Yeah.
He was 92 years old.
Okay, I didn't want him to die.
Well, nobody did, but how long did you expect him to live?
I don't know.
He was getting miserable and grumpy, man.
What's wrong with you? Talking shit about my grandpa that just passed?
I'm not talking shit. I brought you a nice bottle of bourbon.
This is nice.
Yeah, it came in a box. It reminded me of your...
Let's go bury it.
Look good.
Looks kind of good. Does it look like casket a little bit? That's a good bottle. Or do you want to have a glass and talk about old dickhead?
Yeah, let's do it.
He did get angry when he got older, didn't he?
All right.
Oh, he did. Every time I came over, he was like, oh, what's Derek doing?
All right, so there you go. That's
all right. I really have no idea whether it's real or staged, but I was convinced. I'm like, okay.
He's always
just trying to give a casket-like box.
He's always wasted
booze to his buddy.
Yeah. I say I know there's 90% of the stuff you see on TikTok now is scripted and for views, but no, don't give me that because guess what? He had like $3 when I was in the bathroom.
I didn't say anything.
So, no, again, I'm sure a lot of them are scripted, but the way they play it off, it does come across pretty genuine. So,
okay.
Look,
I give it a solid C-.
If you got a beef with him,
thanks, Todd.
You can definitely take it up with him. You don't need to look at me. All right.
Dude, I heard mispronunciations when I was in the bathroom from Bob. Like I said, I think there was one word he got stuck on.
Pronunciations?
Pronunciations?
That's not what you said.
That's what I said.
So we got two now.
I'll go back to the tape.
We got Tic Tac. We got
I didn't say Tic Tac.
Yeah. Why do you think I looked at you?
No, I didn't say Tic Tac.
There was a Tic Tac there.
No, okay.
Bob, let us know this week.
Yeah, I'll be over that.
Tic Tac and pronunciations. How was it? I can't even say it.
Pronunciations.
So what did you think I was?
Pronunciation.
So if I was thinking of
should have been.
If I was thinking of Tic Tac, what were you thinking I was thinking of? Because you tuned right in when I was doing this. So
I don't even recall what
it was Tic Tac.
No, it was not.
Yeah, it was.
Either way.
Wow.
Yeah. Nope. We haven't been on top of our game tonight, so I'll let it slide.
All right. Nick Bader.
Yes, sir.
If I can get this to work, here we go.
All right, guys.
Make sure to explain to Donnie because it's been 2 years since he's been here.
So Donnie has been here in two years. So Nick's existential question, we one of those things like if you're out at the bar with your buddies and you're like, hey, it kind of originated from like, hey, what would you rather do? Suck on that bartender's tongue or
yes,
that is not okay. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. That is not. We have never. It has never been.
Let me explain to you.
That was very extreme. That was very extreme.
He's painting this like a fuck, marry, kill thing that we were doing every weekend.
Let me explain.
Not at all what we're doing.
Hey Nick, the boss is upstairs.
Let me explain to you. Hold on. Let me explain to you.
Yep.
So the existential question originated from Tony and I being at work and saying, oh my God, we've got one coworker that smells like shit. And we've got another coworker that fucking whatever.
Like roses?
Whatever. Would you rather put your face in front of their mouth for fucking 2 minutes, or would you rather do this? Like,
no, that is not how this originated. It was not a
how did it originate?
Would you rather? No, it was a
enlighten me.
Existential question. It was
I'm pretty sure the artwork and the music says Nick's existential question. So please enlighten me on how it was originated.
Yeah, Bob. Enlighten all of us.
You're on the hot seat now.
That's your name may be plastered all over that segment.
Yeah,
which,
go ahead.
Which
tell me.
Could generally be taken away. That was not how it originated. It was a rule.
That was an over the top move.
You and Tony working together. That was not how it came up.
All the key fobs and the door locks will be changed. So when he comes back,
whoa, hang on.
So hold on. There's a
this.
book that's right over the edge of the table right over there, which is the book that you've been going on for like nigh on 3 years of this podcast.
Yeah,
doing the
my
existential
if questions. Yeah,
right. Which did not come from a would you rather scenario from you and Tony working together.
So you and I spoke about this before the book, before everything.
So hold on,
and we talked about.
Are you really trying to?
I'm telling you, I'm not trying.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
we've had this,
up, buddy.
We've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
That when guys get together, you're like, hey, would you rather this? Would you rather this? And they're if questions. And then eventually I said, I have this book that my buddy gave me in 3rd grade that is questions of just normal if questions that we can use. And we kind of relaxed and relied on those questions for the past 2 years. And then you bought this.
3 years. I would even say
and then
3
you
years.
You bought
but
this.
None of those were predicated upon like, hey, this is the kind of, hey, why don't we do the kind of shit that Tony and I used to do, the would you rather questions when we were driving around together.
No, but the idea came from we've talked anyhow.
Okay.
Regardless, anyhow, this is a segment where it's like, hey, I'm gonna ask you a question and just fucking answer it. So, all right, whatever.
Perfect.
We've gone too far already. So.
Well said, sir.
Clarifying question.
I had 2 of these, and I pulled out the 3rd one. And I just want you guys to know the one that I'm not going to ask you right now.
Sure. Go ahead.
What's the worst thing that you've stepped on in the dark?
Yeah. So every time we do a question like this where you're like, I don't know if I want to do this, and you put it back. I'm like, I always think back to, there was a question where I don't even think I was on the show. I was out that week, and it was just Nick and Cory and Todd. And Cory's like, well, hold on. I want to answer that question. Like, you literally stopped the show. Like, no, don't go on. I want to answer that.
We're going to leave it at that
and it was a great segment.
We're going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
What is the worst thing you stepped on in the dark? And I can actually go first.
Go right ahead.
I don't think it was this house. No, I'm 100% sure it was not this house. I was in Trenton. I was at some kind of house party in Trenton, and it was summertime. And I was walking outside, and I think I had flip-flops on or something, and I left them in the house. And the beer was like in the backyard, and
So you're barefoot?
I was barefoot.
All right.
And I was trying to go around. There was a shit ton of people in the house, and I was trying to go around to the backyard to get a beer. And I fucking stepped on something, and it exploded underneath my foot. And this, like, jelly and liquid exploded all over my fucking foot, and I had no idea. And this was, like, before, like, the handheld smartphones. And it was the most disgusting feeling in the world. I didn't know if I stepped on, like, I don't know if it was like a rabbit or something. I didn't know what the fuck it was, but all kinds of liquid fucking went all over my fucking foot. And so finally I got a light of some sort, and I came back. And apparently in this particular spot in Trenton, there are these, at nighttime in the summer, slugs that are 7 inches long that come out on the sidewalk that are like an inch in diameter. And I stepped on this thing, and it exploded underneath my foot. All this fucking slime. It was the fucking worst thing I ever fucking stepped on in the dark.
That's
disgusting. It was nasty.
I got one. I got that beat.
Yep, go ahead.
All right. So when I was still living in Michigan in Milford, I had a bar in the basement, and didn't have the lights on, but I went over there to pour a beer or something, and unbeknownst to me, the day before or earlier that day, our malfunctioning cat went behind that bar and took a shit. And
hold on, your malfunctioning cat?
We had a cat that was aging in a bad way, and it started not shitting in the litter box. And so instead of making it to the litter box, it went behind the bar and took a shit on the. Remember, we had glazed brick in the back of the floor in that bar in that house, Bob. And so, and he'd done it long enough ago where it had a little hard coating, but it was still soft in the middle, and so you couldn't smell it when you came downstairs. And when I went behind the bar, I stepped squarely into the largest cat shit in the history of the universe, and then that released the smell of the freaking the shit.
Did you slip though?
Oh, I did. I slipped and almost killed myself, and then I was like so disgusted when I knew when the odor hit my nose. I was so disgusted. I stripped naked and walked upstairs, and Mary's like, "Why are you naked?" And I'm like, "You're a stupid cat." Just because I felt so disgusting.
Didn't rinse the cat poop off his foot. Just got naked.
Wait, hold on.
I took my socks off, my pants, my underwear, my shirt. I had to go take a shower.
Why? Hold on.
It was disgusting.
Were you just living? Were you just you and Mary, or?
Yeah, just Mary and I.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like at some house party or something. I'm like,
no. It was our house, but it was so disgusting. Literally, that smell I thought permeated everything I was wearing, and so I stripped naked and went upstairs and took a shower.
I know exactly how you feel, but I did it with a dog.
You did it with a dog?
And I didn't have a sock on. I was barefoot.
Wait, you showered with the dog?
No.
Okay.
Stepped in the dark
Gotcha.
and shit.
Okay.
Fresh, warm dog shit.
Got it.
And the dog was the size of a horse, too. So.
Well,
yeah, it was not fun. It was
flop, I mean, define fun. Really.
Shit.
Yeah.
So that I couldn't imagine. I would probably puke on myself.
It literally wrapped around, like, folded over to the top.
Oh no, that's a lot.
Yeah, he was a big dog. I mean, it was horrible.
Hey, dude, you don't have any fucking Cinderella feet either. So
mine's nowhere near as disgusting, but also related to animals. A dog toy in the dark, trying to like go to the bathroom or go to the kitchen, and anything that rolls any little bit is the scariest moment you might ever have in your entire life when you're waking up still very sleepy. It's dark, in the house, and then all of a sudden you take a step on a little dog chew toy that rolls from underneath your foot.
Like a cartoon banana?
Oh, dude, and you have to lock up every muscle. You have to go into full body lock to...
Body lockout?
Body lockout, yes, to control yourself from not dying on the floor.
Right.
So, yeah, that would probably be the worst thing I've ever stepped on.
Bring us home, Bob Rankin, please.
Yeah.
Bring us home.
All right. This is going to be... All right, so just to...
Is this the lengthy one? I'm going to
Nope. Make it quick.
Okay.
I've stepped on a slug that was gross. It was probably I would say it's the most gross thing I've ever stepped on.
Thank you.
But the question that wasn't the question.
In the dark.
That was, so when I had Indy, and Indy was maybe a year old.
Indy is his Siberian Husky.
Yes. But Indy's 9 now, so my kids were much smaller, and I still had, we still had toys that were around the house, and so it was a night in which I fell asleep on the couch watching TV, right, and I woke up, and this was a common practice in my house where my wife at the time or my kids would see me sleeping in the living room, having been watching TV, and they would go like, let's just leave them there. Turn off all the lights, living room, hallway, everywhere on the main floor, and just go to bed. We'll just leave them there. He'll figure it out eventually.
Kind of like they thought like, oh, well, we don't want to wake him. Let's turn the lights off.
Yeah, be quiet.
Yeah. Be nice.
It'll be fine.
We're going to let him bounce off
Good
the wall.
Good intentions.
Yeah. So the phone rang, and...
Hello!
The phone rang, and I jumped up, and the couch was facing, the TV, and so I jumped up to go to the phone, which was behind me, and I slipped on a Lego, and I went ass over tea kettle on the wood floor, and I was divorced at the time, so it was just me and the kids were upstairs sleeping, so they were like dead to the world, like they weren't helping with anything. So I slipped on my ass on the wood floor and hit my hip on the floor, and
you did that now, you'd be in the hospital.
Now I would be dead. I would have died.
I feel you on that one.
By the time I was like, what the? It fucking hurt. And it was like a shocking, like, when you get, as you get older, you get pains where you're like, that shouldn't hurt that much. But fucking, that hurt a lot. It must mean I'm getting older. And so as I'm lying on the floor, my dog, who has been listening to all of this, thinks he's going outside. So he comes around the corner where I am laying, having just slipped in this Lego, and fucking steps on my face as he's trying to like go around the corner to get to the door, and he fucking steps on my face, and I got up, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
It's all your fault.
I guess we're going outside now. So I went outside,
paw prints in hand,
and I got up the next morning, and I had fucking paw scratches on my face where he'd stepped on my face. That's the worst.
So
that's
Bob,
awesome.
Evening.
And
Yeah.
eight symmetrical dots on the bottom of your foot.
I was going to say, impaled by a Lego, broken hip, and claw marks.
I mean,
and a broken hip.
God love my kids. And I love Legos. I bought my kids more Legos. I'm sure when I stepped on was something I bought for them. I only have myself to blame. I'm blaming no one, but that was the most painful.
In the dark.
In the dark. And by the way, I will add to that since that time, because he was 1 year old, right? And that was 8 years ago. Since that time, I have broken almost every one of my toes running around the corner in the middle of the night from a phone call or somebody going like, hey, and just like running around the corner and like kicking the leg of my couch at full speed, like a step with the left, like right foot coming around, full speed.
Oh yeah,
toe right into the broke it. I broke it every one of my toes.
I was going to
every one.
Baby toes on corners of walls.
Baby
and
toes,
like,
second to baby
horrible.
toes, third to baby. Everything but the big toe. I'm sure I probably broke the big toes as well.
Well, needless to say, none of those piglets were going home.
Yeah,
I was going to say because it wasn't it didn't correlate with the stepping on something, but I remember meeting Bob up one night. And it was like
Cory knows more than probably anybody.
It was in the middle of winter, snow all over the ground, and Bob comes out with one shoe and one flip flop.
You're beating Bob up?
No,
that's what it sounded like.
Is that what you said?
Meeting Bob up.
Oh, I thought you said beating him
no,
up.
So did I. So did I.
To be fair,
what kind of relationship did you guys have?
Oh yeah,
hold on.
Hit the
to
button.
Be fair,
he's trying to find it, like
fair.
always.
To
be fair. To be fair, he was picking me up to go to the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, and Bob comes hobbling out in one tennis shoe and one flip flop with no sock on or anything like that, and you could clearly see that there was some sort of trauma to his foot. And he comes hobbling out and he gets in the car. I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?" He's like, "Well, last night I got a phone call at like 4 a.m. and I normally don't get phone calls on the house phone at 4 a.m. So
it must have been me."
A lot of times it's my frat brothers in a drunken state going like, "What are you doing? I'm wasted."
And he's like, so I immediately assumed it was Cecilia or Jack or something was wrong with Christy, and I flew out of bed and I caught my pinky toe on the door frame.
Weren't they like 13 at the time?
They were said what year it was. Or
no, they were much younger than. But even they're his kids. I get it, especially call at 4 a.m.
I mean, where would they? I mean, if they weren't at home,
right?
That would be terrifying.
So
raising hell, sir.
13. I mean, if they were away from home, that'd be scary as shit.
Tearing it up downtown Detroit.
Cecilia,
so he smoked his.
Dad, I'm 12. I've been sleeping upstairs since 9 o'clock.
I was at the rave.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a Kid Rock concert.
Well,
my parents gave me the okay on that, so I can't be upset at me. But yeah, no,
not sure what you're trying to do.
He fucked his foot up pretty good on at least the one I saw.
Was it visibly like?
Oh yeah, it was black and blue and
yeah,
very swollen.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
we're gonna do one last.
It's a highlight of
old
age.
One last shot of the night, guys.
Please join us if you can. We're riding off in the sunset with one last shot. Please join us. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Whoa.
That's the good stuff.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah. Machu Picchu.
Guys, I love you. Donnie, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And all the listeners and viewers, love you too. Please come back every week. Join us here. On behalf of the Schnozzcast,
subscribe.
Please.
You'll
like it,
get updates, please.
Yeah, why would you not? All right, that's the podcast for the week. We'll see you next week. On behalf of Cory, Nick, and Todd, and special guest, Donnie Gephardt, this is Bob said, we'll see you next week. Peace out.